of the greatest pieces of advice that I've ever received is be careful who you surround yourself with, because your inner circle is going to have a direct influence on you. I made videos on NFL players with gang ties in the past, and in those videos you could see that a lot of these players' inner circles, although most of the time they didn't really have a choice, eventually resulted in their demise and their downfall. And today we have a situation that I don't think is nearly as severe, but is still just something that just makes me want to bang my head against the wall. So before we get to the content, just a reminder, man, if you subscribe and have my notifications on, you've entered for a chance to win a signed autographed jersey of your choice. Just let me know on Instagram or Twitter which jersey you'd like. In addition to this, some of my subscribers think I talk way too freaking much. So if you want these videos to be condensed into 45 seconds to a minute, check us out on TikTok at Microphone NFL. Now that we get all of that out of the way, break! This video is sponsored by Fetch Rewards. Fetch Rewards is probably one of my favorite new apps to use. It pretty much rewards you for doing what you were going to do anyway. Fetch Rewards is an easy to use app that allows you to earn rewards for literally anything that you buy. You can scan any receipt or e-receipt no matter where you are, where you're shopping, or what you buy. And I'll give you an example of this right now. So the other night I went out with some buddies and we did some shabu shabu. Let me know in the comment section down below if you know what that is, but that's pretty much what we did for dinner. So I'm just gonna go ahead and scan this receipt right in front of you, and afterwards I'm going to be rewarded with some points. And if you go over to the reward section, there's some pretty nice stuff that you could get. You could get Amazon gift cards to your favorite retailers, or you could do what I'm gonna do, and that's donate some money to a charity of my choice. I'm gonna go ahead and donate $3 to the Clean Water Fund. So bam, over here I'm gonna get my $3 reward, and that's literally just based off of me scanning only one receipt. So whether it's to get yourself some Amazon gift cards, or if you want to donate to one of these charitable causes that they have available to you, Fetch Rewards is a great app for you to have because it's rewarding you just for scanning your receipts. And right now, if you use my promo code Mikerophone, you'll get 3,000 points automatically to your Fetch Rewards account, which is more than enough to at least make a charitable donation to one of these charities. That's promo code Microphone for 3,000 points when you download the Fetch app today. I'd hurry up because I don't know how long my code is going to be live for. And thank you, Fetch, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? For those of you guys that don't know who Patrick Mahomes is, he is one of my favorite players. I'm just going to start the video by saying just that. It's absolutely remarkable to watch this human being play football. Some people will go out of their way and say he's overrated. Some people would say that he's overhyped. I'm just saying that when I watch this man play football, my jaw usually hits the ground. And the reason for that is after sitting out for one season with the Kansas City Chiefs, his first full season actually playing quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, this dude came in and threw for over 5,000 passing yards, 50 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, and won the NFL MVP in his first year as a starter. The year after, in 2019, he was able to take the Kansas City Chiefs all the way to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. In 2020, at his age 25 season, he already has these crazy high expectations, threw 38 touchdowns to 6 interceptions for 4,700 passing yards, en route to another Super Bowl appearance, but unfortunately his offensive line was riddled with injuries. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were playing at home and they had a great pass rush, and he was also going up against the greatest quarterback of all time, so ultimately he would lose that Super Bowl. But to give you an idea, in 4 years as a starter, this man's already won an MVP, won a Super Bowl, and made it to a Super Bowl. You don't see that every day, man. So as a result, if I was to make a comparison for Patrick Mahomes, I would say imagine Steph Curry, but he started dominating the NBA in just his second season as opposed to his 6th season in the NBA. That's pretty much the parallel I would draw for Patrick Mahomes. And ultimately, man, as a result of some of the stuff this man does on the football field, some of the throws he makes, including no-look passes, and just some of the things he does, as a result, of course, his name comes with a lot of fame and notoriety. To be honest, as a result of that, I guess some of the little clout is beginning to trickle down all the way to his wife, Brittany Matthews, and his brother, Jackson Mahomes. Now, for those of you guys that don't know who Jackson Mahomes is, he's a 21-year-old that pretty much spends his time doing little TikTok dances right before Patrick's games or during Patrick's games. And in the very beginning, I saw these and I just chose to ignore them, but recently, these cringeworthy dances are starting to come under the spotlight a little bit more. I guess when things are going well for Patrick, and believe me, up until now, I think this man has had one of the greatest careers in NFL history, even going as far as to sign a $500 million contract. The dude is the part owner of the Kansas City Royals, for crying out loud. I don't think an NFL career could have gone better than this so far. But unfortunately, Patrick has dealt with some adversity this past year. To give you an idea of how crazy the standards are for this man, so far he's thrown for 1,500 passing yards, completed 69% of his passes, threw for 16 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, but the Kansas City Chiefs have 2 wins and 3 losses. Now, bear in mind, out of 6 of those interceptions, 3 of them have come from tipped passes. 1 was even during a no-look pass attempt, but I digress. This is not the start many people expected one of the powerhouses in football to get off into. And this is when things really start to get put to the test. And it all started 3 weeks ago with Jackson Mahomes finally cracking in a game versus the Baltimore Ravens. Shortly after the Kansas City Chiefs lost to the Ravens 36-35, a video of Jackson Mahomes went viral when a Ravens fan taunted Jackson, and Jackson responded by pouring water over the Baltimore Ravens fan.
I'm so sorry for you. Let's go! Let's go!
Now, it's kind of funny watching a man that is consistently embarrassing his transcendent brother on the sidelines with his little TikTok dances. It's really funny to watch him finally crack. But in this instance, Jackson's really lucky that this Baltimore Ravens fan was just happy to get him to crack and wasn't some Karen that really blew this out of proportion. To make things worse, the media, who before didn't have anything on Patrick Mahomes, it was like impossible to dig up any drama on this man whatsoever. They were able to start questioning him about his family and about Jackson. Now, Patrick's only response was super professional, saying when Patrick was asked to comment on this, he said, I mean, obviously it's something that we don't want to necessarily do. There was things said to him and to my wife Brittany, and they don't see kind of on the clip. But I mean, he's been good at it, at not trying to respond to that stuff. He takes a lot and he's usually pretty good at it. And he'll learn from it and just try to stay away from those people as best as he can. Now, honestly, this is something Patrick, I guess, had to deal with. If I was him, I'd be annoyed, but his relationship with his brother is his relationship with his brother. I knew personally that if my little brother was mooching off of my very trivial amount of YouTube clout by doing silly little TikTok dances that, with all due respect, it's not really a type of dancing that I respect. I mean, if this is something that he has always been doing, if he grew up doing a type of dance that was very talent-oriented, then I'd respect it. But he's just doing these little routines that trend on TikTok, and as a result just make him look really freaking silly. And honestly, if it was my brother, I'd kick his ass, but I guess the Mahomes family deals with it in a different way. What's really starting to bother me is the way Patrick's wife, Brittany, has been dealing with the adversity recently. Now, bear in mind, I guess I'm a little bit more cold in this regard because this is the first time the Mahomes family had to deal with the slightest bit of adversity, and I'm gonna give it to Pat. The man takes it on the chin, but Brittany and Jackson aren't necessarily making his life any easier. Here's the thing. The fact that you're supporting your husband is to be expected, but just look at these tweets from when the Kansas City Chiefs faced off against the Buffalo Bills in an AFC Championship rematch. There was this one point where Brittany tweets out, refs are never in our favor, and in a second tweet added ever, which, with all due respect, I guess isn't necessarily the truth, because if we are to get into a scenario where you're trying to rig football games for a specific individual, Patrick Mahomes really is remarkable for ratings. Whenever I'm trying to introduce someone to football, I try to show them Patrick Mahomes highlight reels because it's really entertaining to watch. So it is in the NFL's best interest to try to rig games for the man, and they have been accused of rigging games for the man in the past. But here's the thing. A Chiefs fan responded to Brittany, writing, "Girl, I need you to stop. This was my team long before Patrick was here. It's not giving the organization a good look. The Chiefs are bigger than you, me, or any one player, which, with all due respect, she is absolutely right. And that was a very respectful way to say, please stop being annoying. But Matthews hit back with by far one of the worst things she could have said that just makes you want to roll your eyes, and says in the nicest way possible, shut up. And then afterwards, Brittany tweets out saying, I said what I said, y'all are so mad. Literally how I expect a 9-year-old girl to act. Honestly, I don't really know how Patrick Mahomes could deal with this. I think the best way you could deal with this is try to get media training for your family, because I understand the desire to have some sort of clout. I do think there were better ways to attain that clout than ridiculous TikTok dances and causing your own husband's fan base to start to despise you. I understand chirping with Bills fans, I understand talking mess to the opposing team's fans, but in this instance, you're talking trash to your own fan base, which kind of baffles me. And poor Patrick Mahomes just has to deal with the stress of all of this. On top of memorizing playbooks, dealing with a bunch of haters that are consistently calling him overrated, dealing with the stress that comes with mastering a playbook, dealing with the stress that it comes with being an investor in a baseball franchise, and any other endeavors that Patrick has, he also needs to deal with his family members that could potentially be sabotaging him. Now, I don't necessarily think this is as big of a deal, but it's just something to observe, and hopefully Patrick Mahomes isn't brought down by his brother and his wife that are like this tag team of sabotage, at least towards Patrick. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.